just gotta, yeah. We're live now.
Should be good?
Yep.
Hello everybody, my name's George Robinson. I'm here with my wife Maren here, and we have also got INFINii corporate members, Nikki and Parrish Witherspoon with us. So that's pretty cool. We met these guys over in Orlando last year. Awesome couple, and have been doing a lot of great things with the marketplace and vendor side for INFINii. They're pretty much the ones that have been taking care of all of it and bringing all the vendors into the system. So you, along with us, have got a lot of questions for them. So we're lucky enough to get on this call with them, and hopefully we can get some of these addressed now. Now, we are told that there is going to be another corporate webinar as well, which will cover some more stuff coming in the next few days. But in the meantime, we should be able to get a few things answered potentially, and they can let us know of some stuff going on. So with that, are you on, Nikki? Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Cool.
Hey, how's everybody doing over there?
Yep, there's a few comments coming through from YouTube, which is great. Everyone's excited.
All right, awesome.
All right, we'll let you guys get to it.
All right, so guess you guys want to know a little bit about this INFINii Marketplace, huh?
This little thing called INFINii Market. Why not?
Yeah, you know what? It's really not all it's cracked up to be.
It's
no,
more.
I'm just kidding. It's not. It is the bomb times 12. All right. It is. Yeah, it's the bomb times 12. It's really good. This marketplace is something that you guys have never seen before. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring manufacturers right at your doorstep. It's going to bring different sellers right at your doorstep that you would have never had the opportunity to source from, so that you can populate your personal stores, your eBay, your Amazon accounts, and just really just rock out, you know, your quarter four. So if you guys are ready, then we'll just dive right in.
So what INFINii Market is, it was dreamed up, was thought up, of course, and Hitesh, the brain of everything that we have, and basically it's there to suit a need. You know, the more that we train people on how to sell e-commerce, different websites from home, the more we realize that our average everyday user is having a hard time growing past a certain point, because there's just some distributors, there's just some vendors and manufacturers that you, as the smaller guy, as the individual small business owner, just do not have access to. So what we've done by creating INFINii Market is create a B2B environment, which is a business-to-business environment. It's kind of unlike, you know, eBay and Amazon, where those are B2C, which are business-to-customer environments, meaning your customer is your end location for that product. On INFINii Market, being a business-to-business, you being the customer, you're also a business, meaning that you are not the final destination for these products. Your ultimate destination is to have them sold on your own platform, or on eBay, on Amazon, Woo, Shopify, whatever you're out there using. I mean, you could even take them to a garage sale if you wanted to. You could take them pretty much wherever you wanted to. But what INFINii Market has, or what INFINii has done by creating INFINii Market, is put all of these vendors that, I don't want to say refuse to work with smaller businesses, but make make it very difficult for small businesses to have access to them. What INFINii Market does is we go out there and we're approaching them as a huge corporation and saying, hey, we want to buy your products. We want access to your products at, you know, manufacturer pricing. We want to be competitive with the Walmarts of the world, with, you know, the Targets and the Kmarts and whatever else is out there worldwide. We want to be competitive with those guys. We want our members to be able to be competitive with those guys, and the only way to do that is to get your products at the same price that you're charging, say, a Walmart, say a Target, say whoever, even Amazon, you know, because Amazon is also a distributor. They go to these companies the same way that, guess what? Yeah. We're going to these companies.
As a matter of fact, as we were going out shopping for these different companies, Amazon was there as well.
Yeah.
And what's really surprising is Amazon is a necessary beast. And what I mean by that is companies feel like they need Amazon right now because everybody is shopping on Amazon. You know, Amazon is right now one of the best places to get your products seen and to get them sold. But what Amazon does do that I'm pretty sure anybody who's utilizing the training and making money with the training, you realize that Amazon will also take control of a listing. Amazon will also drop the price on a listing to the point where, you know, you or other people cannot no longer profit from those listings. Mm-hmm. You know, so what we found out while we were going and approaching all these different manufacturers is that a lot of them do not really like Amazon, but feel like Amazon is a necessary evil, like they have to do business with Amazon. So when we came in with INFINii Market and let them know the platform that we have and what our platform has to offer, they were just awestruck because they'd never seen anything like this before. What INFINii Market has done is it's gave control back to the vendors and to the manufacturers. They control their pricing. They control everything again, you know, and what that does is it keeps the price point way, way, way down for our members and for the customers. So it's really awesome. It really is.
So with INFINii Market, there's two sides, all right? There's two sides. You've got a customer side and you've got a vendor side. So our entire INFINii family, if you are on INFINii.com, which is technically INFINii Commerce, if you are part of that training platform, you are a member. In terms of INFINii Market, you are a customer. Okay, you do not have to sign up for INFINii Market. You have automatic access via your INFINii training login. So whatever your login to INFINii to get your, to get to your back office, your training videos, your ALC, that's the same login ID that you're going to use on INFINii Market. You cannot currently log in right now because we're in a beta test with our vendors, and what that means is we just went live to our vendors this past Wednesday. So it's been it's already been a week. It's already been a week. It's past a week. Yeah.
You're right.
So we've just gone live to our vendors, and we've gotten tons of questions about, hey, why can't we get in? It's not ready yet, is it? It's not ready. No, it's ready. We showed you the front and the back end on both sides. However, you have to look at it from a vendor's perspective. The site is 100% brand new. We have to give the vendors time to get in, to get comfortable with the system, to get familiarized with their back office so that when the orders start coming through, they're not learning the process on how to complete these orders and fulfill these orders the same time that we've got members from all over the world placing orders. It's going to be too much on a lot of vendors, and they're going to get overwhelmed really easy. So our thought process in releasing INFINii Market to go public was to allow the vendors to go in first, give them time to be acclimated to the system, get their inventory in, learn the process back there, learn how the payments work, the shipping, all that stuff, and then once they've been given a decent amount of time, we'll start to let the members in. Okay, so it's up, it's running. We're going to actually do a screen share here momentarily and show you the back office and show you just how many vendors we have in there now. It's been crazy. We've gotten vendors from, oh wow, we've got vendors in Australia, we've got them in Cyprus, Germany, Poland, Colombia, India, China, Canada. There's a Mexican one, and South Korea. We've got them from all over the place, and they're coming in daily. So what we kind of want to do right now, so we just told you there's a customer side and a vendor side. We're going to approach INFINii Market from a customer's perspective first. All right, from a customer's perspective first. It's not going to really take that long because it's basically a buying platform. Okay. At this point, being an INFINii, you all know how to work eBay, Amazon, any other site out there if you've been drop shipping. We're going to approach INFINii Market from that same exact perspective. All right. It's a sourcing site for you. It's a sourcing site for you. All right, and then we're going to go from that into the vendor side. All right, so George and Marion, if you guys have any other questions, we'll pop over and do a screen share.
No, it sounds good. And yeah, it makes sense to put the horse before the cart, hey? In other words, bring the vendors in before the marketplace goes live. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no questions yet from the team, so I'll let you know at the end. So yeah, get into it.
All right. Everybody's just wanting to see what this thing looks like.
Alrighty. So let us know, can you see the screen? Oh, wrong one, hello. All right, hopefully you guys should see the INFINii Market from the customer side.
Let us know that you guys can see the screen.
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so what you're seeing right now from the customer standpoint is you're seeing basically, you know, some of the things that we do really good. Okay, so you'll see the little scrolling,
This is our banner, our rotating banner.
our rotating banner, and you'll see bigger discounts in bulk, drop shipping animal products. Now this banner will change. Okay, it's not a standardized banner. You'll see new things populate in this banner. Okay, you'll see like top selling products and new items that have come in. I mean, this banner is just going to be really a quick view into what the marketplace has to offer for a buyer. Okay. Also, you'll see up at the top, DropShip. If you look right up at the top, can you guys see my little cursor there?
Yep, we can see that.
In the top right-hand corner.
In that top right-hand corner, what that is a hyperlink to all of the companies that will actually dropship your product. So, in other words, you can get it. You can go to the vendor. You can actually place an order with a vendor, and you can drop ship it anywhere. And that vendor will have restrictions on where they can ship it to or where they'll ship to. But it is a drop shippable item where you can order 1, 2, 3 and send them all in different places, or you could just have them go to one place. Okay?
Cool. So we can drop ship directly to the customer as we have done with other sites, but from this marketplace now on some vendors.
Absolutely. And if the vendor has that button checked off, then that's just going to let you know that that vendor does accept drop shipping orders. And those are going to be easily accessible. So there's a little button that the vendor will check off on their side. And if we come in here and actually click on one of those listings, so if we click on this one right here, if you notice in the top right-hand corner, you see the little truck with the drop ship. So that's a quick identifier if this particular item can be drop shipped. And you know, with that, you can easily start listing these things on Amazon or on eBay or anywhere that you sell your items on, and you'll feel
your
confident
Shopify
that will go.
Or yeah, exactly.
All right.
Okay, go back to right next to dropship is bulk. As you can see, bigger discounts in bulk, and what this will do is this will also let you know all of the manufacturers and vendors that will sell in bulk. And because, like we said, we're still giving vendors a chance to get loaded in here, so they're all not populated yet. Some of them are still going through the approval process. However, if we were to just jump into this one, you would see that you would be able to buy this in bulk, this particular vendor's products in bulk. Okay, so this is a quick way for you to find out which vendors will drop ship, because not all vendors will drop ship. Okay, which vendors sell in bulk? Not all vendors sell in bulk. So this will be a quick way for you to find out which vendors in the marketplace will do bulk sales and do drop shipping. So just, you know, some of the ways that we're trying to make things easier for you in the marketplace here. These are things that we've not had the ability to do on other platforms, and really what we try to do is make INFINii Market, you know, the best of everything. You know, the things that Amazon doesn't offer, we want to offer it here. The things that eBay doesn't offer, we want to offer it here. We're filling in the blanks to create a complete platform for you guys to buy and sell on.
Now, one thing we want to ensure that you all recognize is that same deal with the training is going to apply here with the INFINii Market. If you have things that you would like to see, if you would like to see a certain product offering, if you would like to see a certain category, anything like that, we highly encourage you all to send in, you know, support tickets and put INFINii Market in that top, you know, in the top information bar, and let them know, you know, hey, I have a question on this, or I have a question on that, or I would like to see this particular category. I would like to see a banner on, you know, candy, I don't know, something random, you can always have that type of a feedback with us. And unlike other companies, we actually do respond to the feedback, and we'll make adjustments. If we can at all possibly get it done, we will get it done. Okay, so we do want to make this a smooth, easy process for people, not just in the US, but worldwide. Moving over to that worldwide, I mean, this is one of the programs, or not, excuse me, not the program, this is one of the sites that is going to be so
universally used.
Yeah, it's gonna be just a completely different platform. You know, there's not even a good word for it because it just doesn't exist right now.
I like to call it the INFINii universe. Okay, and you will actually be able to utilize this marketplace regardless of what country you are in, regardless of what city, what area, what province. I mean, as long as you got an internet connection, you are good to go on INFINii Market. You know, I mean, that's one of the great things about it. And you know what? Here's something that, you know, Nikki started to touch on. We're only getting better. This is our beta, okay? So we're still making improvements. We're still getting better and adding new things. Trust me, there's a whole lot more coming to this marketplace that is going to blow your minds, that will be released pretty soon. I can't give a date, but it will be released pretty soon. It's just going to really make you guys understand that, you know, INFINii is really going above and beyond to make it easy for us, the members, to really be profitable. Okay? It's incredible.
So internationally, if you look on an actual listing, if you see right here, it says ship to. Currently, this one says United States. I will let you know that this one will be updated to be global, this particular vendor. And what this will be able to do is, no matter where you are globally, you can come in here and search for products based on your location, based on the shipped to location. And what that will enable you to do is, say for instance, if you are in, I don't know, Spain. If you're in Spain and you have a particular shop that maybe sells, you know, some tangible goods, some physical product, and you want to be able to sell that product to people all over Spain, because maybe you only have access, or you only want to ship your product in that particular country, you'll be able to still use the INFINii Market to get your product out to other customers or other businesses. You would come in here, you would list your product, you would mark it as shipped to Spain, and then when people come in to purchase it, they can do a search from Spain, from Germany, from wherever, but if they do Spain, they're going to see your product. Okay, so this is what's going to be different from so many other selling platforms where, you know, eBay, for instance, there's so many hoops you have to jump in or you know, jump through before you can sell in like the US market, which is going to be your biggest market. Same thing on Amazon. There's so many different hoops you have to jump through in order to get your product listed on all these other different sites that may have more traffic. You may not be able, I mean, you could literally have an Amazon account and not be able to sell something to someone a mile down the road from you. You know, so what INFINii Market is going to do is going to make the world a smaller place, you know, as if the internet didn't do that already. INFINii Market is going to make it a little bit smaller so that all of our manufacturers, our vendors, can now interact with other businesses to sell their product that much easier. You know, so if you've got a product in Spain but you want to get it to Germany, now you've got the ability to do so.
Sure. So you can sort by ship to, but what about vendor location? So like shipping, say, from the US to Spain or to Australia or wherever, but we can also have vendors that have got their products stored in Spain or in Australia in the warehousing there that INFINii is contracted to. So then they can ship locally instead of it taking a week to get there from the US. Exactly. They're actually shipping from the local companies. So would we be able to, would there be something to indicate whether that's, like at the moment it says ship to, but it still could be coming from the States?
Yes, right now you can only sort to the shipped to country, but that is a good point that you just brought up, and we will most definitely will work on that for sure. So if we can get that live in the next week or so as far as a search option, then we'll most definitely. So thank you for bringing that piece up.
I guess, does it show at the moment where the vendors are located?
If you come through here, at the very bottom, you have a vendor section, and if you click on that, it's just going to give you an idea of all the vendors that we have in here right now. So when we first started, we only had, I think, 6 to 8, and the majority of those were test vendors. But as you see, we've got quite a few vendors in here now, and more and more are coming. And you can tell all our new ones because they've got this weird little gray face over here. But I mean, these people, if you click into any of them, it actually gives you their location. So we are verifying their state and their actual country. So that is a searchable field. So we'll have to put that into the search field so that you all can do that.
Cool.
Like a quick search.
I'm actually writing that down. So if you want to go. Let's see.
So some of you may be asking, well, okay, me as a customer and an INFINii member, what benefits do I get as a member? You know, what if I'm a Surge? What if I'm an Excel? What if I'm a Prime user? What are the benefits? You want to answer that one?
Sure. So if you, let's go back to the market. If we open up any of these products, all right, so I'm just going to go because the colors are just enticing to me. So when we open this particular one again, you're only going to see one price as a customer, all right? Remember how we told you, you're going to log into INFINii Market through your INFINii login, so your training login. Of course, when you have a training login, it's already identified as whether you're a Prime, a Surge, or Excel member. That comes back into INFINii Market, and it equates to a discount for you. If you're a Prime member, this price right here is not going to change. If you are a Surge member, you're going to get a 5% discount, and if you're an Excel member, you're going to get a 7% discount. Guys, what that basically equates to is the different levels that you are in INFINii. You know, if you're in Prime, you're considered entry level. You're working the in or outs of eBay, Bonanza. You're learning the process of FBA. All right, so you don't have, or I'm not gonna say you don't, but a lot of times you don't have massive amounts of working capital to be able to invest in, you know, a private label and to doing all these other higher level e-commerce activities. So with that being said, you know, they give you a basic level price on there, but now when you're ready to upgrade to a Surge, you're expanding your business, you're learning more about e-commerce as a whole, you're expanding past just the regular eBay, or maybe you're moving into getting a store, maybe you're moving into Shopify and starting to do a little bit of advertising and stuff like that. You need more inventory, you need access to more inventory. So what we do here in INFINii Market, you get that 5% discount, thus you should be able to buy a little bit more. And then of course when you move into Excel, you're starting the whole private labeling. That's just a whole nother realm. And I mean, that's where that 7% discount comes in. You're buying in bulk. You know, maybe people who are in that particular level would be looking more towards the bulk sales, or possibly items that they can brand, because that's another thing that we never talked about, was there's going to be generic items in here that you can brand yourself. So that's going to be another, that's going to be another level of category that we're going to have within the system. So by being a different level member in INFINii, it's going to come right back to INFINii Market and give you that equivalent discount.
Awesome.
Alrighty, so we talked about the categories down here. The vendors. If you come down here, there's also categories. All right, so these currently, we do have more categories. I think there's 270 different subcategories. Currently, you see categories listed that have products already in them. All right, so if we were to come here to Home and Garden, you'll see the subcategories that we have. And let's say we come here to Kitchen and Dining. Once again, that's even broken down. It's similar to any other e-commerce site that you have out there. We can come here to Utensils and Gadgets, and you're going to see a whole slew of products that are out there. All right, so there's more and more products being added daily. As soon as the vendors get, their feet wet with the system, they're going to start loading more and more. What kind of vendors have you seen so far?
Well, as far as the vendors are concerned, we have vendors from all different genres, all different categories. We have toys, we have kitchen items, we have small appliances, we have jewelry, we have apparel. Man, to try and put
there's some vitamins.
Vitamins to try and put into perspective all of the different vendors that we have on tap for you guys to actually source from is going to be really hard. What I can tell you is this: there'll be something there for everybody to buy from, except for a few of the vendor types that we'll get into when we get into the vendor section. But quarter four, you guys should be able to really blow this quarter four away. Coming into October, quarter four, and you guys are going to be sitting really pretty.
Yeah, a lot of the vendors that we've been talking to, because this is a new system, they're a little bit dubious of it, until they get started. So they're sending in little test amounts, I guess, is what a lot of other people are doing too. But once they've seen it proven, they love the idea behind it, but they just need to test it. So the smaller range of products before they start throwing, all their products at it. And
Absolutely.
then you can see it definitely snowballing towards the end of the year, and into 2017 and the next 20 odd years.
Absolutely. This is going to be one of those things that's just going to continue to grow as modifications are made, as updates are made, as feedback from the field comes in. We're able to do real-time adjustments. If we could just share the amount of time we spend on with some of the developers, and a lot of it's really last second, hey, I don't like this icon, change this, or like this whole, like the vendor search by the actual vendor's location, that's something that we'll implement, or we'll start that process tonight. And that's one of the great things about being so close to the field and so close to the actual company, that we can make these adjustments and we can make real-time adjustments, and you can start to see things that are going to make your life easier as a member, as a business owner, as an e-commerce seller through this site. One thing that we have not talked about, and it's not really talked about a lot just yet, but it's something so huge, is the stores. You want to tell them how the stores is going to relate to this?
Wow, INFINii stores is going to be incredible. What it's going to enable you to do is really, it's going to enable you to go in as a member or a customer, order from the order some products, or list some products from the marketplace onto your store. And what their store will do is, when somebody comes into your store and finds a product that they want to buy, what will happen is the store, your INFINii store, will automatically go into the marketplace, place that order, and fulfill that order for you without you doing anything. How about that?
So that's like FBI.
Yeah, I know. Think about all the old DropShip and having to keep track of all this stuff that we had to do with eBay and Amazon before. Guess what? Now you don't do anything. All you do is list it, and when it sells, you just sit back and wait for that money to be deposited in your account, really. It really doesn't get any better than that, except for this. Every member will get a free INFINii store. How about that? Everybody will get a free store.
Yep, you get one free store just for being an INFINii member. You really can't beat that.
And the INFINii stores is going to be better than the Shopify stores. So if everybody knows Shopify because it's a common name, INFINii store will surpass that really soon. So everything will be compared to an INFINii store soon. But right now, Shopify is the standard. Okay, we've made INFINii stores so much better than Shopify, so much better than Weebly. Weebly, that you guys are going to be like, whoa, I'm paying money for what?
Shopify, great. They start off at like $20 a month. Everyone gets excited, but by the time you add all the other plugins that you need, $100, $200 a month plus, and it just keeps on going before you get to actually a store that is something that you can use.
Absolutely.
So they start you off with lots of incentive, nice and cheap and really awesome, but when it actually comes down to doing it, it's a whole different story.
Yeah, if you want your life to be easy on those type of sites, you have to, come out of pocket even more money. For the most minor of things like tracking packages, you have to buy an app, or if you want to follow up with your customers in an easy fashion, it's an app. What I think is really funny is on Shopify, you have to pay for their themes. We've got a whole slew of themes, not just, I believe there's 3 that comes for free in Shopify.
Yeah, 3.
I believe it's 3 that you're given. So, we're within INFINii stores, you're getting way more than just a really plain template, to sell your items on. And the fact that, like Parrish said, it's going to be linked to your INFINii market, you can't beat that at all. You absolutely cannot beat that. So we are going to close out the customer side. All right. Well, actually, there's one more thing that we need to cover. How to approach INFINii Market from a customer side. All right, from a customer side. You don't really want to come here looking at it as a way for you to drop ship, right? You shouldn't come to INFINii Market as an INFINii member just automatically trying to drop ship yourself.
What if you wanted to send those items into Amazon? You know, it's perfect for that. If we can go to some of the products, maybe show them one in particular and give them an idea of the kind of discounts that they can look forward to as far as you know, the price points for some of the products that are going to be in here that they'll be able to source, and what kind of profit margins they can make on one in particular.
Yeah, the one that we go to regularly, just based off the products that we have in here now. Of course, we'll be able to update it as soon as we get more of the vendors to load their products. Is you've probably seen this Buff Baby dumbbell. So this one is selling for
$63.61 US, and you're getting a pack of 12 dumbbells in that. Okay, so that's a pack of 12 for $63.61, whereas on Amazon, one is selling for, I believe, 23, somewhere around there, 23, 26.
I think it might even been higher than that. Oh goodness, now it's 35.
Oh, it's 35 now. Look at that. It's selling for $35. Okay, now let's just do some quick math before Nikki shows you the real numbers. Let's do some quick math. So if you were getting 12 of those for $63.61, that's about $5 and let's say $5.50 for each one dumbbell. So you're paying $5.50 for each one, and they're selling for the magic number of
it's 35 just for one.
35 for one. How about that? How about that?
That's crazy. And the fees on this one is like it's $8.27 for the fees plus the $5.30. I mean, guys, that's that's more than a 200-300% return on that one individual product. That's crazy. And that's just one item. And this item is actually ranked very, very well. And this is just one. Like I said, this is just one simple item.
Way more.
It's ranked 41,000 in toys and games. So, I mean, that's just one, you know. So the products are still rolling in. We haven't gone through every last one of them. But as far as from a customer perspective, okay, you need to make sure that when you, as an INFINii member, come into the marketplace, you're still doing your research. Don't just come in and buy the first thing that you see here. Okay, if this is the first thing that you see on the screen, that doesn't mean that INFINii is telling you that you need to buy that right now. Okay, just like with anything, you have to do your research.
Yeah, that's definitely big. I mean, that's what the training's for. This is where the training platform comes in with INFINii. It doesn't go away with the marketplace. You still have to apply that training. You still have to do the research, like Nikki's saying. You know, you got to look at these products. You got to research them. Make sure that it is going to be a profitable item for you to buy and for you to list. Otherwise, you're shooting yourself in the foot, which is what you don't want to do when you're starting out with your business, or if you're running a business. You're not in business to lose money. You're in business to make money. So you definitely need to do your research on every item that you source in the marketplace, because every one is not going to be a winner. Just like every Mattel item is not going to be a winner. Every Walmart item is not going to be a winner. But if you do your research, you will find a majority of those winners, because there's definitely a bunch of them in there.
Yeah, so make sure that you follow the training. We are a training platform. It's there for a reason. Make sure you utilize that before buying anything. One thing that we don't want to hear all over the place is that, you know, you couldn't find this or you couldn't find that, or you bought, INFINii made you buy these products. No. No, we didn't. We did not. What we did, it's a platform. You don't log into eBay and instantly buy the first thing that you see. No, you do your research. You know, you don't log into Walmart.com and buy the first thing that you see. You do your research. So as a business owner, as an e-commerce seller, it's your responsibility. Notice, your responsibility. It's not INFINii's responsibility to go out and do the work for you.
It's not your upline's responsibility.
Sure isn't. It's your responsibility to go in there and do the research and buy what fits your business model. All right, so make sure that you're doing that first and foremost. Before you hit the buy now button, if you haven't researched this item on whatever platform you're intending to sell it on, that's a problem.
Yes, it is. And isn't on Amazon the buy now button is only on those products that have the buy box?
No. Oh, Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon.
Yes and no. Yes and no. The popular items for sure.
The popular items.
Popular items for sure.
Here's something that we've done was made it easy. It's easy to find the item to buy. It's right there. You just hit the buy box. You
Absolutely.
just hit the buy button and you can buy it. You don't have to search for it.
So on these particular featured products, what you're going to find here are going to be the items that that we're not telling, once again, we're not telling you to buy them, but we've done a little bit of extra work out there to see that, you know, the price is good. Maybe the price is dropped. Maybe we have a discount from the supplier, something like that. So that's what you're going to see here in the featured products. If you come up to, well, you can't really see it. If you come up here to newly added, of course, that speaks for itself. It's a newly added. And then Parrish went over the bulk and the drop ship. But guys, I mean, we cannot stress enough. Research, research, research. Don't just list stuff. Don't just, especially when you're buying it. If you're listing it to dropship, of course, you know, you can try out things, you can test things. But if you are going to buy it to send it into FBA, you need to do your research. Absolutely do your research. You got anything else on this one?
No, not at all.
That's
all right,
really,
guys.
really good advice, guys. Hey, before you go over to the next part, I've been pasting some questions in the chat. Can you see them? In the group chat on the Google Hangout.
Let me see.
On the right. We've got a bunch of people very excited on YouTube watching this, and they've been sharing their questions.
Some extensive questions.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me close this right quick. Well, I don't want to close it. You can still see our screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, how do we submit our business state reseller permit? All right, so we have a question here that says, how do we submit our business state reseller permit? So if you're in the U.S., a seller permit is not mandatory. It is recommended, of course, whenever you start to get to a certain level in your business. INFINii will never tell you to go out and get one. However, we do have some vendors that will only sell to businesses that have a reseller permit. For anybody who's international and you're not familiar what a reseller permit is, basically what it's saying is that whatever state that you are selling in or doing business in, if that particular state has a sales tax on any products or services rendered, that the person that you're buying your products from, so your source that you're getting your inventory from, they don't want to be responsible for those taxes. So by you having a reseller permit, legally in the U.S., it's letting that the person you're buying from pass those pass the tax liability on to you, the reseller, and then you, of course, would pass that tax liability on to your customer. But that reseller permit is basically just an identifying number that allows those tax transactions to just, you know, flow through from the actual manufacturer or distributor down to you, the seller, and then to your customer. Every state's requirements are different. Some states, you know, take a couple weeks. Some states, like we're here in Texas, you can get the number the same day. So every state's different, but we would always recommend that you speak with the CPA and figure out what's best for your business.
We access to product listings.
Which one are you on?
Robin, is that the next one?
No, there's one. Are you able to drop ship to multiple customers at the same time?
You'll actually have to do separate orders, but thank you for asking that question because
that's one we were just talking about the other day.
Yeah, I'm going to actually write that down so that we can put it on our to-do list. So drop ship to multiple customers at the same time. So basically, the question was, are you able to drop ship to multiple customers at the same time? Currently, right now, you can only do one.
One at a time.
But what we will do is put in an inquiry as far as what it would take to be able to, say, for instance, if you sold this Buff Baby thing like 10 times, what would it take for you to put 10 in your cart and then ship them to 10 different places? I know you can do that on Amazon right now, for sure. But let's see what we can do on our side. So dropship. So if you hear some pause, we're actually writing stuff down. Dropship.
When you get into the INFINii stores and the auto fulfillment by the marketplace, that problem will no longer be a problem anyway, eh?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Locations in one order. Okay. All right. Now it's going to this one.
Okay. All right, so Robin Stevens, right.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Where'd it go? We got a new one. Okay, sorry. How will we access the product information to create listings in ALC or manually?
Yeah, go ahead.
So to make an actual product listing, you're going to have to, unfortunately right now, you're going to have to do it manually. In the stores, that will be automatic.
In the stores, it will be automatic, but as of right now, yeah, you have to do it manually. However,
we can ask
yeah,
if this can be incorporated into the ALC.
Yeah.
We can sure.
Yeah, we can definitely ask. I mean, it shouldn't be an issue considering we configured the ALC, so that should be a fairly simple fix.
Some good questions coming through.
Yeah, some really good questions because you're helping us to get better.
Absolutely. I don't even think that has ever come up. That's a great question, Robin, about ALC incorporation. I actually like that one. That one would be very beneficial. All right, so this one says, I have a vendor. He is worried that if he lists in your marketplace, other sellers he stocks overseas will think that he's undercutting them. Is this marketplace only visible for INFINii members?
Okay, yes. Only INFINii members will be able to see the marketplace or buy from the marketplace. If you're not an INFINii member, then you cannot buy in the marketplace. So there is some autonomy there for the vendors.
They can't even see it. If you log into INFINIIMarket.com right now, I don't care if you're a member or not, a box pops up right in the center of the screen asking you to log in. You can't click around, you can't open products, you can't see anything other than what is right there at the top of that screen. So no one's going to be able to just log in, unless of course you're giving them your login information. That's something totally different. This is a 100% member-only site. It's not open to the public at all.
Sure, and you've got the MAP that's going to be enforced, yeah?
Correct.
Yes,
Parrish
that will definitely
be
forced. Yeah, I was going to cover that in the vendor section, but since this question is right there, yeah, one of the great things about the marketplace is for vendors. I talked about that protection that they get. We're giving them back the protection. We're giving them back the controls. The vendors will control the actual map. So any item that, if I'm a vendor and I have an item that I'm selling to the members at, say, $2, I can put a map price on that and say you cannot sell this any lower than $5. So what that does is that ensures that price point on that item, the integrity of that item stays up where it needs to be. Nobody can go and drop that price lower.
So MAP stands for...
Exactly, and they can't drop it on any other platforms either, because you guys, everybody will be under contract not to do so. That you have to honor that map pricing. That's one of the things that we've worked out with a lot of the vendors, some of the big vendors that you guys will see shortly when you guys have access to the marketplace. That was a selling point that enabled us to get them in, was that control of that map pricing to make sure that the integrity of their items stay where it should be, and they can continue to make money selling it, and you can continue to make money selling it as well.
I think he asked, what does MAP stand for?
Oh, MAP stands for
minimum advertised price.
Minimum advertised pricing. MAP normally applies to eCommerce. Okay, so anything that's online, if you're selling like to a store, brick and mortar, it's MSRP, and those are basically the same thing, and that's that minimum advertised pricing.
All right. Let's see. If you have a vendor that is supplying your product and your original plan was to send it to Amazon FBA, what would you advise? Or what would you advise? Send to Amazon still or to the INFINii warehouse? if you have a vendor that's already sending your products into Amazon, I mean,
Send it there if
I
that's
mean,
where you're selling.
yeah, ultimately, yeah. I mean, you really don't need to change that process unless, you know, something else pops up in the future. I mean, as of right now, if you don't need to stop that process, you don't need to throw a middleman in that loop. So if you've got a particular supplier already sending your products in there, there's no reason why you can't continue that process. Unless, of course, that vendor is now going to sell their products in the INFINii market. That's a completely different thing. You know, if you can get that vendor to list their items in the marketplace, then it might be cheaper for you to buy it from the marketplace versus, you know, buying it from or shipping it from Amazon or buying shit from the vendor. I mean, there's so many different variables as far as that type of a decision. But I mean,
just have to go with the one that best fits your business model and what you're trying to accomplish.
Absolutely. This vendor list is still just available to INFINii members, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, only INFINii members. It's not going out to the public.
This one's kind of a, oh, I don't know if these are all the same or extensions of the same question. The vendor list is still available. Members would be able to use the product URL on the marketplace to the ALS. Okay, I think we already answered that one. If a UK customer will ever be able to sell these items, I don't really see a reason why.
Yeah, once you take control of these items that you purchase in the marketplace, I mean, INFINii Market has no more control of it. It'd be like you buying something from any other third-party location, or you buying something from a manufacturer and you reselling it. You can resell it on the street. You can resell it wherever you want. That's up to you. You know, so there are no, once you have it, there's no way for us to police it. It is really the best way to answer that question. I mean, you could, in the marketplace, there will be restrictions. Like, say for instance, some can only be sold in, say for instance, Spain. If it's a manufacturer that only wants their products sold in Spain, or if they only want their products sold in Australia, and you buy it and you take it someplace else, that'd be no different from you buying something in the United States that you don't have access to in another country, and you bringing it over and selling it to somebody. So that's really on you at that particular point in time. INFINii Market can't police that.
So if you are selling these items on Amazon or eBay UK, you of course you can. I mean, you would have to ensure that the products that you're purchasing or the products that you're listing are available to ship wherever you are selling those at. So if you're going to list on Amazon or eBay.uk, make sure that the products that you are listing are available to ship to the UK. Same thing on Amazon. If you're selling on Amazon.uk or you know, German site, Spanish site, make sure that the products that you're listing are able to be shipped to those locations. Remember, you can easily come through the products and you'll be able to do a search for them, but it tells you immediately right here where they can be shipped to. All right, so make sure you're doing your due diligence on that. You don't want to get stuck selling something and then you don't really have a way to get it over there. Another question, will you get paid directly into your bank account or through the GPG system?
GPG, we're using GPG process server now for the marketplace, so everything, all payments will go through that process. If you're already familiar with it from the DSD days, it should be a smooth transition for you.
Absolutely. So having a store means we will have to drive traffic to it as well, like it's done in Shopify. Yes.
Yes, definitely yes. But as we gain momentum, I mean, there'll be some things to help sort of drive traffic.
Yeah, and if you're a partner in INFINii Network, of course, Kevin is going over all kinds of crazy ways. Yeah. He's doing YouTube, he's doing Facebook pay-per-click, he's doing all kind of different ways to, you know, get traction, not just as a partner, not just to get leads, but guys, you can use those same techniques to drive traffic to your listings on Shopify, or you can even do it for your eBay listings or your Amazon listings, guys. People do it for any type of e-commerce out there. So, you know, the whole deal with Shopify, guys, it's just nice to look at. You know, it's fancy. People consider it to have all these bells and whistles, but like George was saying, yeah, like George was saying, you have to pay for each individual piece out there. You know, you're paying for those bells and whistles. What INFINii Stores is going to do is give you those bells and whistles
for free.
Exactly. All right, so Jim Jones is asking, when does it go live? So currently, right now, the marketplace is live. It's open to vendors only, of course, and that'll be that way for the next couple of weeks. And we will be having another INFINii Market only webinar. You'll get that out to your email boxes, and they'll probably post it all over online and stuff like that in the coming days. So that is coming for sure. Will there be a warehouse in China?
Yeah, as we get bigger and the marketplace starts to grow and we get better at what we're doing, I mean, it's only good business for us to have warehouse locations in different areas to serve our needs, to serve the marketplace needs, you know, to serve the needs of our members. So as of right now, we do not have a warehouse in China. However, we have partnerships with other warehousing facilities, other third-party warehousing places that will enable us to meet those needs. But here's one of the great things. I mean, when we're looking at warehousing in China, we'll have a lot of those China manufacturers right here in the marketplace that will actually ship in 2 to 3 days. We can get shipping. We can actually provide shipping in 2 to 3 days. So it's we're really taking a lot of that headache out by bringing them to you, and then if you are ordering from one of those manufacturers that's overseas, we can get that stuff to you really quickly.
Are you talking about shipping from China directly to the US?
Yes, I'm talking about shipping directly from China. We have shipping worked out with major carriers right now that will actually get those items to us here in the States in 2 to 3 days.
So that's going to ultimately be up to the individual distributor. I mean, of course, INFINii is not going to be mailing these products. So the shipping is going to be up to the vendor themselves. And, of course, each vendor, the same way they do on Amazon or any other site, determines their handling time and their shipping speeds. And, of course, the quicker you get an item, especially if it's international, the more you're going to pay for it. So that's not going to change. But what we are working on are, you know, discounted rates and ways to help the vendors. So the discounted shipping and things like that, you know, you as the member will probably never really deal with it on a first-hand basis, but your vendors will. That's probably another big thing that we didn't even touch on is the shipping aspects that we've been working on diligently. And that's what's really, really important to a lot of smaller businesses. You know, when you go to these different wholesale districts and talk to some of these businesses, a lot of them don't want to ship. They don't even want to ship domestically. They don't want to ship locally. They want people to come to their store and pick it up because for a lot of people, shipping is a pain in the tail.
It's a hassle.
Yeah. And it's an extremely deep cost. Unless you're a huge vendor where you have, you know, hundreds of thousands in sales per month, and you've got tens of thousands of shipments that you send out, shipping it's point blank, it's just not cost effective. You know, people will lose money. And the reason that we're working on so many different relationships with these different carriers, once again, the same way we go to manufacturers as, hey, we're INFINii, we're a big company, we're going to the carriers that way as well. And what you're able to do with that is you're able to negotiate discounts. You know, a discount that a regular small business is not going to be able to do on their own.
Yeah, you basically said it all. But just to add to that a little bit, yeah, the agreements that we have with some of these major carriers is phenomenal. The shipping rates that we've been able to work out to the point where, I mean, I'm not going to say we're an Amazon competitor, but we're pretty darn close at an early stage in the game. And as we just build this marketplace up and build the buzz and the you know, the traction in the market here, we're only going to get better and be able to really compete with anybody out there where it pertains to shipping and not only just shipping nationally, but we're talking about globally. So we're really getting better at this, and as we continue to you know, go the path that we're going, it's only going to get better.
Absolutely, guys. We're working with Australian Post. We're working with the Poland Post in Greece. Germany, the UK. We're working with not just the big international carriers. We're also working on relationships with your local domestic carrier. Because remember, INFINii Market is just not going to be for people who want to buy in the US and ship to Germany, or buy in the US and ship to India. It's going to be for people who want to buy in Greece and ship to Greece. And I'm saying Greece because I know we just had 3 Greece vendors log in today or register today, you know. So, you know, that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make a marketplace, a business-to-business marketplace that is accessible
to everybody.
There you go. So we've got one more question here. When we drop ship a product on our own eBay from the marketplace, will tracking also work? I believe you're talking about the tracking in the back office. So I actually wrote that question down. So we're going to ask about the ALC incorporation and that tracking incorporation. So we will most definitely, those are excellent questions. Another question, what method of payments can we use to pay for our items?
We're accepting everything. If you got some children you want to send over, you know,
a dog.
Yeah, right now we're able to accept all payments to include PayPal. So we're really good to go there. We have a
I know there was talks about using your credits.
Yeah, you can also use your credits in your available balance. So INFINii is really making it very easy for you, the members, to really purchase, and taking a lot of the headaches that we've encountered over the past, and sort of finding some solutions for those hiccups that we've had in the past, to make it a lot more accessible and easier to maneuver and navigate through. So yeah, right now I don't think there's a payment that we can accept, with the exception of
I don't think we're at Bitcoin just yet.
Yeah.
No Bitcoin, no tokens.
There was some talk about it.
It's coming. It's coming. You know, INFINii is evolving, and you know, the mass currencies of the world, you know, be it electronic or whatever, those things. I mean, don't think that INFINii Corporate is not looking into those options, because this is a global company and we want to make it as easily accessible to everybody. But we also want to make sure that it's safe. So we're not just going to start jumping into all kind of random, you know, methods of payment. So I know we're not messing with bank transfers and stuff like that.
Yeah, not right now.
None of that type of stuff. But, you know, for sure, a credit card is going to be your easiest method of payment, of course. We are incorporating the credits and the available balance, like Parrish said, and PayPal, of course. So a lot of those are already going to be in there. And, yeah, those are the PayPal and the credit cards, of course, are live right now.
Okay, so where can we get marketing material for vendors?
There's a huge event.
Yeah. That's being created now. We're working with Kevin. Kevin's putting a lot of that stuff together with our help to make sure that we cover all of the excuse me, all of the do's and don'ts and the how-tos, and we're putting together some training. And again, what is INFINii? INFINii is a training platform. So one of the things that you're going to find that you can't find anywhere else is a support. Because we're a training platform, there will be some training on how to do that, and some videos that will come out to show you how to do that. So it's on the way. By the time we launch, we should have those out. So
yeah, we'll actually have some documents for people before this next corporate webinar.
Yes.
The next corporate INFINii Market webinar. So we have another question. When can we have the webinar on a marketplace in Spanish? I wrote that down here, so that we can get that out to you guys as soon as possible. What we may be able to do is get some folks on and actually run a hangout similar to this one in Spanish. So, you know, George and Marion, if you guys have a large Spanish member base, maybe that's something that we can schedule with you all as well, to have the same content that we're doing right now, but in Spanish.
Sure, we'll get Virginia onto that.
Let's see this next one. If there are vendors who require authorized seller permissions, will there be a way, link information for us to apply for those authorizations? So let me read it one more time. I'll read it one more time. If there are vendors who require authorized seller permissions, will there be a way, a link or information for us to apply for those authorizations?
Okay. As far as those vendors that we haven't named yet, that apparently you must have seen one of these webinars already, so you're ahead of the game. As of right now, we are accepting them, but we're not approving any as of yet. So what will be the process? The process will be pretty extensive, and we'll have to make sure that we're ready as a company to delve into some of those areas in a legal sense, because I mean there's some things legally that we would have to do for alcohol and tobacco, and I don't even think tobacco is going to be an option pretty soon, because I understand that you're not going to be able to ship that overseas at some point. I was hearing, but as far as alcohol, as far as some of those other ones that we'll get into when we cover the vendors, if we get enough time to do so.
Yeah, I think the vendors are going to be really quick. I mean, okay. from this side of perspective. Let's see, the last one. When setting up vendors, do we need a set of contracts from INFINii to protect everyone? No, because this is no different than an eBay or an Amazon. It's no different than you signing up to sell on there. INFINii Market is not selling your products or your vendors' products. They are. You know, so it's really no different than selling on other platforms.
All we're doing is giving them a place, another place to market them, to advertise. Basically, that's what we're doing with the marketplace. Is we're giving them another avenue, another income stream to advertise as to, you know, the products that they have and what they have available. You know, so yeah.
All right, guys. I think we went through all of those questions. I stopped the screen share. I'm going to actually open up INFINii Market from a vendor's perspective now. So let's open this one. So we don't really want to spend too much time on this one, primarily because this is not going to be for our everyday members. Remember, the majority of the members that log into INFINii Market,
customers.
Yep, you're a customer. You know, so you don't really need to know how to list a product on here, because this is not eBay, this is not Amazon, you know. And that brings up a really, really good point is, you know, you're able to create a selling account on eBay. You're able to create a selling account on Amazon. Please do not look at INFINii Market as another one of those sites, okay? This is not a site that we need our regular members to be on drop shipping products from an Overstock or a Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. This is not going to be the platform for that. Where you would do that would be your store. If you're going to do it, would be your INFINii store. The only time when that would be relevant for you is if you're going to private label something. If you have a private label, then yeah, definitely come into the marketplace as your own vendor, selling your own private label item. Okay, and give yourself another avenue stream to get your product out there for more people to see, to have access to buying it. Definitely, if it's a private label. Okay, but just like Nikki said, if you're just looking for a place to drop ship, you know, your stuff, I can tell you right now, you're not going to make any money if you do that here, because the pricing that we have negotiated is going to blow your socks off, and you're just not going to make any money. Because think about it, we have made money as a training platform teaching people how to buy third party.
Yeah.
Okay. We're advancing now with this marketplace. We're no longer third party. We're dealing directly with vendors, wholesalers, and manufacturers. Okay. So you as the member, you as the customer, that's the level in which you have access to in the marketplace. You want to add to that?
I mean, yeah. I mean that's probably if we can get everybody just to really sit back and you know, hear that one more time. Do not look at INFINii Market as an eBay. It's not a place for a regular INFINii member to just create an account. We know what happens in our whole realm of INFINii is whenever something's released, everybody rushes and they try to create an account. They want to do it right now, right now, right now. Well, we're telling you, from a company perspective, from a business owner's perspective, you need to be a customer on INFINii Market. Okay, that's what you're coming in as. You're coming in as a customer. We're bringing vendors to you. You're able, as a customer, as an INFINii member, to refer vendors, and we fully encourage you to refer vendors. But what we don't want is a bunch of people using that FBA Prime level, I'm not FBA, using that INFINii Prime level training and trying to create stores on INFINii Market to sell to other INFINii members the products that they're drop shipping from Walmart or Amazon or Overstock or Wayfair. Okay, that's not what the purpose
or
is.
Five Below.
That's not the purpose of this, guys. This is to get your products to sell on those platforms. Let's see.
Can you go over
Okay,
the fee structure for the vendor program?
So there will be a monthly fee for this vendor program. We're currently in beta. All right, so because we're in beta, that means that it's actually free. There's no monthly charge for our vendors just yet.
Right.
I believe it's going to be at least a month.
Yeah.
Possibly longer.
Yes, it's going to be at least a month, possibly longer, like she said, but not very much longer than that, because again, we're really ready to blow the doors on this and to get this thing moving, so that you guys have the maximum momentum going into Q4, because we really want to see some record numbers for that. So with that being the case, yeah, it's not going to be much longer than that.
Yeah, so with the vendor fees, the monthly fee, with that vendor monthly fee, it's kind of like an access fee, the same way that we have the training fee for regular INFINii. It's going to be a similar type fee in INFINii Market. We don't have the final numbers. I'm sure it'll excuse me, it'll come out on the INFINii Market webinar, the corporate webinar. So that will be, all of that will be covered on this next webinar. As far as the actual selling fees, so similar to eBay, similar to an Amazon, you know, it costs money to sell on these sites. So, you know, Amazon is not just charging you 15 to 20% for nothing. It literally costs for payment processing and everything else. So, of course, that needs to be passed down as well. Same thing on eBay, how we have I think it's like 13 to 15% on eBay, depending on your level. So that same deal applies on INFINii Market. There will be a per sale percentage that includes your payment processing and things like that. All of that will be covered in great detail as far as when the payments are dispersed, when your fees are attached, your monthly fees. All of that stuff will be covered on the next corporate INFINii Market webinar. So I would highly suggest that you keep an eye on your emails. If you're not a fan on the INFINii Facebook page, most definitely go like that one. Same thing, INFINii Partners, or excuse me, the INFINii Network. Kevin is very, very vocal in there. Just stay up to date. You know, we always try to tell members to stay plugged in, and the reason for that is so that you don't miss information like this.
Yeah, definitely. So Nikki said something really, really cool, because she brought up payments, and everybody likes to receive payments. So let's talk about really quickly how INFINii Market works with this whole INFINii concept. So we got the training. You do the training to learn how to sell and how to source and how to make proper business decisions as it pertains to e-commerce. But let's also talk about what the marketplace does for you in the networking side, because you get BV. You can earn BV. So if you refer a vendor to the marketplace, guess what? That vendor gets coded to you, the referee, or the referrer. Referrer or referee? Referrer. Yeah, that's the one. So you, as the referring customer, you get to put that vendor in. That vendor goes into your holding tank. That's another webinar, but it will go into your holding tank for you to place in your binary. Excuse me, that's a bad word. In your network, you know, to where you can earn BV off of all the sales that they make. So let's say that vendor has a stellar year, has a stellar Q4, and does say $1 million in sales. Guess what?
Wow.
You are going to get a king's ransom percentage of that $1 million in BV. And that goes to you, and crazy. Guess what? That turns into crazy, crazy money for you. So
imagine you referred Mattel. Imagine you referred, you know, Disney or something. I'm not saying that you guys need to do that.
Well, Disney's still out there, so if you can refer them, bring them in. But Mattel's taken already.
Yeah,
sorry.
But imagine you can refer a company like that, and imagine the sales that those companies would get, you know. And that would be coded to you. You know, when a vendor signs up, remember, INFINii Market is not public. you have to have an invitation link. The same way INFINii is not public. You have to have an invitation link. So when you get an invitation link, you're coded somewhere. And that brings up a very good point. Please, please, please do not send out your INFINii invitation link for vendors if you are not an active partner. You have to have your partner activated on INFINii in order to get the benefit of sending out vendor links. Now, mind you, you can send it out, but if you're not an active partner, it's going to default to the admin. All right? It's going to default to the admin.
Admin means INFINii.
Admin means INFINii, exactly.
Don't give your money to INFINii.
Please don't. I mean, we will take it, but we would much rather you have it. You know,
yes.
Absolutely much rather that you keep that BV, that you and your upline keep that BV, and just make more people, you know, rank up to manager and directors and ambassadors, okay? That cannot be done if you're coding all of your vendors to the admin, okay? Please, before you start sending out links, ensure that you are active. You are an active partner, okay? And the reason we're stressing this is because, guys, over the past week, I would say about 70% of the vendors that we've gotten in so far,
defaulted to admin.
They've defaulted to admin. We've gone through literally help desk tickets of usernames, and only one so far was an actual error. Okay, only one. The rest of them were not partners. So save yourself the time and effort, and make sure that you just verify that you are a partner. And like Parrish said, the ability to be able to put these vendors into your holding tank is going to be killer. It's going to be killer from a marketing perspective.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And again, I mean, I think we're doing you guys a disservice because we're normally a whole lot more energetic, but it's been a long day, and I apologize for not bringing the great energy that we normally bring. But it starts to build up when we start talking about this, because this
is pretty energetic.
This marketplace and what INFINii has created for you all to take advantage of is just getting so much better. And the more that you utilize the system and the platform to its full potential, it is hard for you. Really, it's going to be hard for you not to be profitable if you are doing the right things. You know, like for instance, referring vendors. We said don't do it as a customer. If you're a customer and you're trying to create a vendor account with the stuff that you're buying from Walmart or Target or Five Below, or don't do it. But if you have a legitimate vendor, definitely refer them. If that vendor is in China and you have a relationship with them and you know that they're legitimate, because if they're not, we're going to check and we're going to verify if they're legitimate or not. But if you have a vendor that is legitimate, refer them. Get them in to give yourself more avenues. Diversify your business so that you can bring more money into your family's income.
Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. So let's go into INFINii Market from a vendor. We're going to kind of breeze through this once again because this is just to show you that the system's live. This is what your vendors will be seeing when they actually get in there. So this is the back office. As you notice, it looks a little bit different than, of course, the customer side because you don't see any products out here, okay? So the vendor has access to similar items that you would have on a Shopify or WooCommerce, any of those other sites, you know. You've got your products, you're able to list your products, your catalog. We can bulk upload, so that's extremely popular nowadays because who wants to sit around and manually load 500 different products? I don't. Do you?
Definitely not. That's not me.
You've got shipping settings. Of course, you've got product reviews. Anybody's into blogging, we've got RSS feeds. Here's another section for your orders, you know, your refund requests. We do have access to coupon codes and gift certificates. So, you know, if you're a vendor, you can run special promotions. Maybe for, you know, going back to school, you can do, you know, 20% off sale or something like that. So you can do coupon codes.
Yeah, Father's Day sales, Mother's Day sales.
Absolutely.
Easter, Christmas, you name it.
You've got communication templates, so you can mail the admin, and you can also email your customers, all right? So, you know, it's going to open up the playing field to vendors to have access to more and more distributors, basically. All right. Then of course you've got your payment, and then over here you've got your account. And on your account, you can actually come through and change different colors, change your way your portfolio looks around. You can show 5 products across instead of 3 products across. Little minor things like that. But it is very user friendly. What we've done is, guys, we've literally studied all of these different selling platforms from the seller's perspective. And what we've done is we've chopped out all that extra mush. Okay, we don't need the extra mush.
Yeah, no mush.
Mush. It just confuses people. It's a way for sites to look fancy. Oh, we've got 20 million different options. Yeah, but are they needed? Or are you kind of taking away from the basic core structure of what me as a vendor, what I need to sell to my customer? Do I really need all these pie charts and this and that and this and that? Yes and no, and the bottom line is most likely no. You can download a CSV file and do whatever you want to do with it. But do we really need to focus all of that time and effort to get that stuff in the back office right here? It's just not needed right now. This is nice, clean, simple. You're selling from one to another, a business to a business, all right? So, that's pretty much the way that it looks right here. Of course, I'm on the INFINii eCommerce site, so if you notice, Parrish and I do have on INFINii shirts. Well, you can't see right now, but whenever it comes back on. Oh, crud. I logged out. Hold on.
Okay, see, she's getting hyped now. She's bringing that energy.
Me out.
She's logging out. She's touching me. She's hitting buttons and stuff, so y'all just bear with us.
Oops. Okay, let's try that again. Alrighty, let's come back in here. Okay, so I'm back in it. Alright, so if you... Oh, I'm on the wrong screen again. Technical difficulties. Okay, here we go. Here we come back here. Alright, so if we come here to products, then you will see all of the gear that we have out here, guys. If we have any DSD members, we've got the DSD gear that was available at the Orlando event. We've got the shirts and the hats and the pins and all of that good stuff. We've got the INFINii gear now. So
for those of you who want to sport one of these nice polos here.
So here is the polo that Parrish actually has on. All right, so this is the listing page that the vendors will actually have access to. Same information, guys. It's the categories, product names, SKUs, descriptions, your prices. Here is the nifty little button where it says, do you want to ship globally? If you don't click that off, then now you have options to actually pick the countries that you want to ship to. But we have a ship globally. All right. Product tags. Remember, somebody had a question about the reseller number. Some vendors will be able to click this off. And when they click that, basically you will not be able to purchase from them if you do not have a reseller number. If they allow drop shipping, if they have a bulk option, if they have free shipping, these are all options the vendors have. They can come in and put variations, so they can do variations by color or by size. They have the ability to add additional prices. They can come in and check their quantities. So if a vendor knows they've got 45 of a particular item, they can put it in here. There's a reorder level, so meaning when their inventory gets to a certain level, the INFINii Marketplace, you'll get an alert, just letting you know, hey, you only got a few more of these. You need to, restock it or something.
Replenish.
So, you can set different, shipping weights, links, all type of stuff in here. So it is very detailed, but it's all presented in a really simple manner. So as we get through this, we'll get more input from our vendors, and just like on the customer side, we'll make modifications as needed. We'll streamline things as needed. To better fit.
Yeah, definitely. That you said it. We'll definitely be getting better.
So, what about shipping times and return policies? Are they going to be all set there somewhere?
Yes, your shipping times and your return policy. So here, it's up higher. So on the actual product, you've got a handling time that the vendor puts per item. And as far as the return policy, of course, INFINii as a whole cannot create a return policy for individual vendors. So similar to the eBay and the Amazon, they will have sole responsibility for putting those requirements out there. And you'll actually see them on their vendor profiles and on the product description. So you'll have a link out there to that particular vendor's return policy. And, of course, you'll see the handling time out there as well for each of their items. But vendors do have the ability to put their handling time in here, and it's per item. So there may be some items, if they're coming from China, being realistic, it's going to take on a more reasonable price range for shipping, it's going to take about 10 days to 14 days to get to you. If they want to, charge more, that'll reduce the handling time, of course.
Yeah, the quickest we can get it to you from China is 2 to 3 days.
So, and of course, that's based on the vendor, an option that they want to do. So, what we've done as INFINii, from INFINii corporate standpoint, is we have gone in and negotiated rates. I'm trying to get back to the main screen. We've gone in and negotiated rates with some bigger carriers to try to get our vendor, or to try to get our vendors access to those better rates that they possibly cannot get on their own, because they're not big enough to warrant those massive discounts. Okay.
Can you tell us some of the companies that you have done deals with in regards to shipping and warehousing globally?
Yeah, for sure.
UPS, FedEx, DHL. We're working on.
We have USPS.
USPS. We're working on some of the one carrier in China. We're working on a carrier out there to help with some discounted shipping. As Nikki said, we're working with a lot of the local carriers in some of the countries that she mentioned.
That's Australian Post.
Yeah.
Poland. It's called Poland Posta or something like that. A lot of the local, domestic, or regional carriers internationally are the ones that we're working with. So those are the ones that are going to be most likely cheaper, dealing with the smaller products in local areas. Like, we've got a bunch of vendors in Greece. So of course we're really pushing hard for those Greek carriers. We've got an Australian vendor, so we're pushing for the Australian Post. We already have incorporated already, so that one was easy. Then you've got the one in Poland. We're gonna have to work on one in Colombia because we have a Colombian vendor.
Right. But again, I mean, the shipping is the responsibility of the vendor. We're just trying to make it easier.
Yeah.
We're just trying to make it easier and give them some other options. And like Nikki said, for those that don't have it or don't know how to deal with it, we're trying to find ways to really appeal to all types of vendors, no matter how big or how small.
And I think that's what's making us stick out more than the Shopifys, for instance, because we can easily go to a ShipStation, to a ShipEasy, and integrate with their systems. But how is that going to benefit our vendors? It's really not, because essentially they're still responsible for going in there and getting the actual shipping account. So now they're going to have to pay for the shipping account, plus they're going to have to pay for the application of ShipStation or ShipEasy or whatever shipping platform we put in there.
Right, and then again, they also might not be able to get the discounts that we can negotiate as well.
They probably won't get the discounts at all, So what we're trying to do is, guys, we can integrate with pretty much every carrier out there easily, and have the vendors be responsible for creating the accounts. And we can do that. That's done now. So when vendors come in there, that's already in place. They can already go through their USPS or their DHL or their FedEx and print labels out on their own. That's done. What we're trying to do is go that extra mile, because if we can offer these vendors discounts on shipping, guess what? Now they're more prone to list their products with us. Now they're more prone to have their catalogs available to even more people, because that shipping is not biting them in the pocketbook, because shipping is a dramatic cost, which is why a lot of businesses just flat out refuse to do it.
Sure. If you look at, so like in the US, INFINii's got their own warehouses, correct?
Yes.
So we can send products into that warehouse, and then you've got shipping networks that you use for those products?
Correct. So there are a couple of different things. Parrish can probably go into some of the warehousing options that they're coming up in the future. So I know you saw the one that Kevin put out there.
Yeah, the one in California. That's going to be big for our international channels coming in from Asia. We also have one here in Houston, which will be good for a lot of the shipping channels coming into the port of Houston. And we're looking for one on the West Coast, on the East Coast as well. So we're really just trying to cover all the major channels of all the major shipping channels, so that we can offer the biggest discounts on shipping for all of our members. And as far as warehousing as well, being able to get those in there, obviously that cuts down costs when we're shipping to those areas in the East Coast, or if we're shipping in the mid United States or the West Coast, and we're doing those same things in the foreign countries as well. So we're trying to really put a big footprint, but unfortunately we got to start small before we can get really big. But you'll find that we'll have more locations, more warehousing locations for you guys to send items in to cut costs on shipping and to also speed up shipping.
Yeah, and you have to take in consideration as well. There has to be a demand for it. Similar to the rate that the training is being translated into different languages in the back office currently, it's done based on demand.
Yes,
so
definitely.
just because there's umpteen different languages out there doesn't mean that we're gonna just off the bat automatically translate the INFINii training into those different languages. There has to be a demand, meaning there has to be a certain demographic of users that are needing that particular service. And once we get that set, whatever that threshold is, then that's when we start to push out the warehouses in more and more locations.
Yes.
So within the warehousing structure, of course, you're going to have options for, I believe we were talking about getting items sent into the warehouse and then off to Amazon.
Yes, definitely.
There's also an option in there, say for instance, like Parrish was talking about, if you are at those upper levels of the training, be it Excel, and if you were in DSD, you were doing the Genesis type training where you were doing your own private labeling, then you have your own product. If you're international, for instance, and you wanted to sell that product on Amazon.com, you would possibly be able to send your private label product into a particular warehouse that we deemed closest to your location, and that warehouse would then send your item out for you.
Exactly.
In your own box with your
Yes.
own label, which is something that, once again, is just not readily available to the masses right now.
Exactly, and we are getting to the point where we'll be able to drop ship from our warehouses as well. We're still in the ramp-up stage on that, and the finalizing as far as logistical stage, but we'll be at the point where we'll be able to do some drop shipping as well. So you'll on those items that you need to send into or that you deem necessary for them to come into our warehouse, we'll be able to ship those out for you guys.
Like
as well.
the bulk orders,
Yeah, like the bulk orders.
On the INFINii Market, there's going to be a whole section for bulk orders, and it might be more cost effective for you to buy 100 of one particular item, but you may not want to get it shipped all into Amazon at one time, or you may not want it all at your house. Maybe you don't want to fill up your garage with 1,000 Buff Baby. Yeah, maybe you don't want to be like us and fill up your whole house with 1,000 Buff Baby rattles. Maybe you only want to get a few of them. And have the rest of them stored at a particular, warehouse somewhere else. And
that's correct.
Those are options that we're looking into. The whole piece of INFINii Market was to take it from a customer's perspective and a seller's perspective, merge the two, and come out with a product that's going to be beneficial to the masses.
Yeah.
Masses being our members. Alrighty, so guys, the market back office right here for the vendors, I mean, there's really not a whole lot more I can go into back here. We will be having a specific vendor training webinar. That link will not go out to the members. It will go directly to the vendors that have already registered.
Yes, and we'll be doing some training with them, showing them how to put their products in, work with them on how to put their products in, also on some of the advances and the nuances that we have put in there. So
absolutely.
Cool. Is there a PowerPoint presentation or video type scenario where we can use to attract our vendors being put out by corporate?
Yes, we're working on that once again with Kevin now. We're working on those presentations and those videos because, like I said, the biggest thing for some of the bigger manufacturers that you guys may be going after is Amazon. A lot of them already have a footprint or a selling presence at Amazon, and what they don't want is us flooding the market with more of their products on Amazon, taking away from their already successful selling stream, retail stream that they have there. So we have to be very, very careful about how we approach them and also how we market it, because we don't want to scare those vendors away, because that's not the goal. The goal is not to scare those vendors away. The goal is to get them in and let them feel like they have more security and more checks and balances in place selling on our platform than they do on Amazon. And those vendors can actually check off, that you cannot sell this on a third-party platform, i.e. Amazon, eBay, and so on, which means that it's just going to be your INFINii store. So what's that going to do? That's going to bring traction to your stores as well. So, I mean, it's really a win-win situation, because the goal that everybody should have is to get off of Amazon, to get bigger than Amazon. Nikki said it many times, is to outgrow Amazon. When you outgrow Amazon, guess what you do? You cut out the fees, you cut out the controls, you put the control back in your court, where you decide how much profit you want to give away because you need an extension on Shopify, which will be obsolete pretty soon when we unleash INFINii stores. You'll have that control to put more of that money back, more of your resources back into your pocket, so you can continue to grow your business. But you want to outgrow Amazon. You don't want to stay on Amazon. You don't want to continue to be an Amazon seller. You can make a lot of money on Amazon, but you'll make a whole lot more money when you're private labeling and doing things on your own, and you have the ability to source the same products that Amazon sourcing at the same price. More markups, more profits, just more better. Is that a word? More better?
It is now.
Can we say that?
Can
we say that?
You just did.
I know, but can we say that? Can we say that?
More better.
More better?
You can't say can. You say you just said it like 10 times.
Works for me.
All right.
I'm laughing because I think it was Derek, asked if I've been working on my Chewbacca noise. So, actually, no, it sounds exactly the same. It sounds, people still remember that.
That's right. This was with them as you did the Chewbacca. The sorry, stop.
I can't sound the same. There were a couple of other questions that we see on the side. How do we find vendors?
Wow, how do you find vendors?
They're everywhere.
That's easy. The way that you find a vendor is, number one, you don't want to deal with a reseller. Okay, you don't want to deal with a third-party seller. That's not a vendor. You want to go to the source. So first of all, you have to understand what the difference between a retailer and a wholesaler, warehousing, or manufacturer. That's what you want to look for. Okay, so you want to start looking on the back of the boxes of the things that you buy. That's how you find out who that manufacturer is or that vendor is.
All I have is a box of tissues, but
so you want to start looking on the back.
Flip it over.
All right, and that's what you want to
get. I'm trying to get it out of the glare.
It's not the barcode that you're looking for, but it's normally right next to that barcode. Okay, who actually makes that tissue product? Kleenex is the actual seller or manufacturer. I think Kleenex is the manufacturer.
Kimberly-Clark. Kleenex is the name of the brand.
Is the brand, and
Kimberly-Clark is the actual manufacturer and distributor.
Okay, so you want to find the manufacturers on these things to know what, who do you go after. And anybody that sells a product to a major store or even a smaller store is who you want to be targeting, because that's where the discounts are. You can buy at the pricing that you need to be buying at, so that it's beneficial for somebody to buy from you. Absolutely.
Do we contact them on Amazon or eBay? A lot of the people on Amazon or eBay are actually third parties. So I'm not sure how far you would get on that unless you're contacting, like if the name of the product is Goo Goo Gaga and the name of the company is Goo Goo, or the seller is Goo Goo Gaga, then hey, you might have something there. But a lot of times people have third parties take over their Amazon sale. They just don't want to deal with it. How do we determine the best vendor to refer? I mean, same deal. It doesn't matter if it's a small one or a big one. It could be somebody with one product.
Let's take Wonder Workshop. I hate to say their name, but I'm saying it because they had the #1 toy on Amazon, selling on Amazon last year. They had one toy. That's it. But they blew away the market. So that to say this, like Nikki said, it doesn't have to have a bunch of stuff. It just has to have one winner. If you find a vendor that has one winner,
you're a
winner, chicken dinner. I mean, you're there. So,
let's see. If my vendor wanted to sell in multiple countries and didn't want to sell individual purchases from Australia, would he send to different INFINii warehouses around the world? That is a complicated question.
Okay, so let's read that again.
If my vendor wanted to sell in multiple countries and didn't want to send individual purchases from Australia, would he send to different warehouses around the world? Pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean, essentially.
pretty much. Yeah, if your vendor didn't want to sell in Australia and it's an Australian vendor, then basically he would just send this stuff to our warehouse in whatever location he's trying to sell in. So let's say the United States, because I know we're good to go there. He would just send those items in bulk there, and when they sold, he'd tell us to fulfill them to the buyers in the States.
Yeah, if your vendors don't want to send their own individual products out, because sometimes it is a hassle, and if they're not set up for it, then that's precisely what the warehouses would be for. Robin's asking about someone fluent in ASL. I do know that
Robin, do you want a job?
That is someone that or that is something that they have been looking at. Not someone. There's something that they've been looking into. Right now, there's closed captioning on everything. So all of the new training should have the closed captioning at the bottom. So if you cannot hear it, then of course you'd be able to read it. I'm not sure what else that they'd be working on, but of course we will ask. Another question.
Putting out some awesome questions.
Yeah, Robin, you're on the money.
These are some of the best questions that we've had so far. So
absolutely.
Kudos to you guys.
What percentage for vendor sales in BV? I believe Hitesh covered that on webinar number 3. Okay, I don't want to stick my foot in my mouth, so I don't remember the exact dot.
Yeah, Hitesh just a percentage guy.
Yeah, he's Mr. Number.
We're the meat and potatoes. You know, we're the down home. You know.
You said it. Yeah. It's on webinar number 3, I believe. And on that same webinar, he goes over the vendors being placed in your holding tank and stuff like that. So I think that's all the questions that we've gone through, unless you guys have any other ones. Or George and Meredith, if you guys have any other specifics?
The BV was 3%, I think is what Hitesh said.
That sounds familiar.
So if
you've
got a vendor, like you were saying before, that does $1 million in annual sales, that's 30,000 at 3%, which in BV, that's your director right there.
Exactly.
Yep. So there's certainly a lot of power in that,
Oh, that's an understatement. That's how crazy it can go, especially when you're looking at a global market. You're not just looking at one specific location.
Definitely.
Cool. That's all the questions from YouTube. I've copied over.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't think I've missed anything.
Presentations to the vendors is going to be pretty important because we don't want people out there trying to bring them in now and giving them the wrong information, which it sort of gets spread all around the web and doesn't really help INFINii's name as we're starting to launch this.
Here's something quick for your people, your network there that's like wanting to open the door or just sort of get a feel for vendors. I mean, basically what you're telling them is you're giving them a totally different network and revenue stream to market in when you join INFINii as a vendor. Okay, you're giving them something separate from Amazon, separate from eBay, separate from Shopify, because our members, although they're selling on those platforms, they're also looking to buy items to push off on those platforms. So what you're doing is you're offering vendors, which is vendors should be happy that you're actually coming to them. And you got to let them know, hey, I'm doing you a favor by asking you to be in this marketplace, because in this marketplace, you are going to be able, you're only going to be in there with businesses that are looking to buy. You know, and we're talking about businesses. We're not talking about individuals that are looking to buy one of your items. We're talking about people who are looking to buy multiple SKUs, multiple items of the same thing, you know, and at bulk fashions and in bulk if possible, if you offer that as a option, you know. So anybody that you're approaching, you need to let them know that, hey, I'm giving you an opportunity to join, to sell and to market and to advertise on a network that you normally would not have access to, which is really the biggest thing, because we are closed. Remember, it's not open to the public. We're only open to our members, and we are global. So we can give them global reach if that's what they desire. You know, think about those mom and pops who are selling in these retail locations. those are really probably the best ones to get if they don't already have an online presence. If they're selling in these retail locations, these brick and mortars, and they have their very own products, it's going to them and saying, hey, listen, I can give you more exposure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so many people are getting a bit jaded with Amazon as well, so it might be a good time.
Exactly. But we need to make sure that when you're pushing this out to the vendors, you're letting them know, hey, this is an awesome opportunity for you, and you can only get in if I invite you. Because that's how I've attacked, and I've gotten some really big ones you guys are going to see. I've gotten some really big names. We talked about Mattel. We've gotten Hasbro. We've gotten Spin Master. We've gotten Shopkins. We've gotten we got Dory. I mean, we got all kinds. I mean, we have some really big manufacturers, and we approached them, by saying, hey, you can't miss out being on this. This is what we have to offer. This is what we can offer you. You can continue to make money on Amazon. You can continue to make money on eBay. But now I'm offering you a totally different revenue stream. And tell them the controls that you have. You control all the pricing. Nobody will ever go below your map. You'll be able to control your listings. You'll be able to control what you're selling and who you're selling to. Because remember, they don't have that reseller license, so that they can pass those taxes off onto the vendor. Guess what? Onto the business. They don't sell it to them. If they don't want to sell in a specific country, remember we showed you. You can control that. You control everything as a vendor. So it gives them those controls, and a lot of them feel safe about that. They feel safe that, wow, so I never have to worry about this product going down below my map pricing, which means that I can continue to sell this item until I can no longer manufacture it. Awesome. So it's good. It's definitely good. Be excited when you go to them and let them know, hey, I'm letting you in on something. You're not doing me a favor. I'm doing you a favor.
I don't need you. You need me.
Awesome. There's a couple more questions I've just pasted in there, Nikki.
Are we currently accepting wine vendors? Not at this point.
You can put them in. But we're not approving them as of yet because we got to get some things situated on our end.
Yeah. And then how many members are INFINii? 200,000 or more. We're gonna have to get the actual final number from Hitesh. So we'll have to get him to post that one on that next corporate webinar, or possibly even we wrote that one down as well. But we do have quite a large membership base.
Yeah, it's huge.
And then also take consideration, it's not just INFINii. I mean, guys, we still have our DSD membership base. So there have been talks about, the DSD members being able to have access in some form or fashion. So that's, while I'm saying that, I'm writing that down as well. Member access, because that was something that was talked about as well. So I mean, yep. Guys, you've got a platform that's out there. If any of your vendors want like specific numbers as far as what we've been doing, INFINii.com is the best place to go. Not the login, but go to INFINii.com. There are running daily totals that are updating out there.
I would pull those totals off and give it to them first and go that route, because then you also have some of those vendors that will immediately see that and think that, okay, this is not the type of business model that we want to engage in.
Oh yeah, so, no, I mean just take the numbers off of there.
Take the numbers off of there, and those are the numbers that you give them, because some people are still closed to and don't understand the hybrid company that we have right now.
Yep.
Looks like there's another question.
No, we just answered that one. Oh. I think that one's all.
Yep.
So,
all right. If you guys don't have anything else.
Oh, there's just one more. Sorry.
The marketplace was originally promised us in DSD members. Hope it goes there. The marketplace that was going to be in DSD, I'm not sure if it was going to be the same one that we have here.
Yeah, no, this thing is more.
I think it was going to be a little bit different. But yeah, we do have that question on there because it was posed to us before. So we will get information on that one as well. Cool beans.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sorry, just one more.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
sorry, hang on.
When did you say the next webinar was going to be? Has it been posted yet, or is it still to come?
I don't think it's been posted just yet, but there should be a post in the next day or so as far as the registration.
I'm surprised there's not one today. They normally have been running on Wednesdays. Wednesdays and Fridays has been the norm for last week, at least.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, they're going to probably fluctuate. Since INFINii warehouses are in the USA, how does it help international members who want to plug in vendors locally in their country? We currently have the warehouse in the US, but they're going to be warehouses located all over the place. But remember, it's going to be on a demand base. So we are looking at the different locations. So we are looking at some that have access to the Pacific, you know, and Southeast Asia and all over Europe and South America. So we are looking strategically all over the globe for that. So they're coming.
I know we have some in India too. We keep forgetting to mention India. So India is another location that we'll be getting them in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So they'll be all over the place, but guys, just keep in mind that it takes a little bit of time to roll stuff out. So for sure they'll be going to our biggest demographics first, and that's nothing personal. It's just it's business. We have to take care of the places where we've got the largest population of active members.
Right.
Makes sense.
Awesome. Thank you so much. There's no more questions, so yeah, thank you so much for coming on and talking to the team and answering all our billion questions.
No worries. Hopefully it will help you guys out, and you guys see some great growth, and you know, you guys really attack the marketplace.
Absolutely, and just remind your members as well, if they have questions, they can filter it through, you know, guys, filter it through George and Marin. They've got direct access to us as well. You know, if you've got a question to the help desk that's specific to INFINii Market, make sure you're putting INFINii Market in the subject line. You can even put, you know, attention Nikki and Parrish, you know, that normally gets them. So, you know, feel free to use those avenues, but for sure, I mean, if there's any questions or any suggestions, by all means, filter them up, you know, through your sponsor, through your leadership, and you know, we'll get those answered. And you know, if we can implement it, we will for sure implement it.
Yeah, you guys gave us some great ideas for some improvements, and you know, that's great. That's going to make this marketplace even better. So you guys have some input. So that's awesome. We need good quality input to actually make this thing better. So thank you.
All right, everyone's saying thank you so much. It was awesome. Yeah, and hopefully we'll have you on again soon.
Yep, just give us a call.
All right, thank you. See ya.
No
Do you want to close it out?
Have a good evening.
Yeah, you too. Catch you later.
See ya. Bye. You have to close it. Stop it.